What is up, my rebels? Today we're going to be talking about the World Team Trials semifinals, which is going down tonight, as well as our predictions for the rest of the tournament and results for the previous rounds. Let's go into the video. Before we start this video, make sure you guys check out my boy Apex Wrestling Highlights. Get him to 2K. He posts the best wrestling highlights on YouTube. Alright, so first off, at 57 kgs, all the guys here had to move up to 61 because Thomas Gilman won Olympic bronze in this weight class, so he automatically qualified for the world team. So this way, we had a lot of good guys like Daton Fix, we had Nick Suriano, we had Nathan Tomasello, but the number one seed here was Tyler Graff, a veteran who found a pretty easy way into the semifinals, where he'll be facing Daton Fix, who ended up teching Seth, who I thought was going to be a very formidable opponent for him in the quarterfinals. And then on the other side of that, Nick Suriano ended up losing a close match to Tomasello 3-0 in the quarters, and Tomasello is going to be facing off against Joe Colon, who won a 13-12 shootout with Nashon Garrett in the quarters. Now, between Tomasello and Joe Colon, I think Tomasello is going to win this match here because Nick Suriano has beaten Colon in the past at Beat the Streets, and that was when Suriano was still focusing on folk style wrestling. So I think Tomasello will get it done here. And then between Graff and Fix, seeing as Fix's momentum from that Seth Gross match where he ended up tagging a very good opponent, and then Graff, I mean, he's a great wrestler, but he is getting a bit old now. This is probably his last year wrestling in the freestyle circuit. I think Fix is going to win this one, and then using his great defense will be able to really stop Tomasello's offense and then use counter shots to win the finals in the best 2 out of 3 at 61 kgs. And then at 65 kgs, this weight only had, I believe, 6 guys because a lot of the guys here moved up to 70 kgs, which was also open. And this weight was open because USA sent out nobody here to the Olympics because they couldn't qualify the weight. So here the top seeded guy was Yanni Diakomihalis, who got a bye in the quarters, is going up against Luke Pletcher. I don't believe these guys have wrestled off before, but I believe Yanni will probably win this matchup. He is just a great wrestler, great scrambler, and all around amazing in freestyle wrestling. So should find an easy path to the finals against Pletcher, and then McKenna should be able to do the same thing against Henderson. Then in the finals, best 2 out of 3, McKenna versus Diakomihalis. I believe Diakomihalis beat him in the NCAA finals in folk style wrestling. I believe that was 2018, and then Joey McKenna has beaten him a few times recently, so it's definitely going to be a close match between these two guys. But I think Yanni Diakomihalis, using his scrambling skills, will be able to stop offense from McKenna and win this matchup. And then at 70 kgs, a weight where a lot of the guys from 65 moved up to, like I believe Jordan Oliver, Zain Retherford, and James Green as well. So a lot of these guys are just a bit too big for 65 kgs, but then you also have guys who are cutting a bit down, like Alec Pantaleo from Michigan, and then Ryan Deacon. So some big guys here in those two, and they are both in the semifinal on the bottom half of this bracket. Them going up against each other, it's pretty much a toss-up, but if I had to pick, I would pick the Northwestern guy in Ryan Deacon. And then on the top half of the bracket, you got James Green, who is the number 1 seed here, going up against the number 5 seed, I believe, in Jordan Oliver, who had a close match with Zain Retherford in the quarters, which you want on criteria. So it'll definitely be close, but I think Jo will win this one here. And then in the finals, between Jo and Ryan Deacon, I believe Jo will be able to win here like he did in the World Team Trials. Although it is a different opponent, Ryan Deacon, of course, a great wrestler, but Jo is just very good at freestyle, has those really good low single shots, so I believe he'll be able to take the win here in the best 2 out. And then the 79 kg weight class, which is the way I believe everybody's been waiting to watch, with guys like Jordan Burroughs, Jason Nolf, Alex Derringer, and then also Imar. Those last two, Derringer and Imar, did not compete at the Olympic trials. I believe they both got injured or something, but they didn't compete. While Burroughs and Nolf both lost to Dake. Nolf lost in the Challenge Tournament finals, and then Burroughs lost in the best 2 out of 3. So both guys taking losses to Dake and having to move up from 74 to 79 to make the world team here, because Dake took the bid at 74. But in the semis, it'll be Burroughs versus Nolf. Don't think these guys have wrestled before, but Jordan Burroughs probably be able to get it done here against a very gritty opponent in Jason Nolf. And then on the bottom half, it'll be Imar versus Derringer, the 3 versus the 2. Don't really know where this one's gonna go. Derringer is just such a dangerous opponent against in freestyle, and then Imar just has great hand, heads, hips, defense, and also has some good shots to back it up as well. So definitely will be a toss-up, but if I had to pick, I'd go with Imar. And then between Burroughs and Imar, these guys have wrestled before, and Imar won a match against him at Final X, which was best out of 3. JB eventually did come back and win the next 2, but it'll definitely be close between these guys. But if I had to pick, I believe JB would end up winning 2 out of 3 in this chance tournament between these 2 guys. It'll definitely be very close though, and I could easily see it going either way. And then the second to last weight class is 92 kgs, where the top seeded guy here was Jaden Cox. Great wrestler in Jaden Cox. I believe he was supposed to compete at 97 kgs at the Olympic trials, but then ended up either not making weight or some crazy thing. No one really knows, but had a really good chance to make the Olympic team this year if he did end up competing. But instead, he's here at 92 kgs competing for a world team spot, and the seeds held out pretty well in this weight class. The 1 seed Jaden Cox made it, the 2 Nate Jackson, 3 I believe is more, and then the 4th seed Conklin ended up getting upset by Miles Martin in the quarters. But other than that, the seeding held out pretty well. But Cox should have a pretty easy win over Miles Martin. A great wrestler, but Cox is just such a veteran and a beast in this weight class. Should be able to get it done here. And then on the bottom half, Nate Jackson has just been doing very well in freestyle, especially in the last summer. So should be able to use that momentum to keep him going and move to the finals against Jaden Cox. But these guys have wrestled before. Jaden Cox did beat Nate Jackson the last time they did wrestle, and will probably be able to do it again in the best 2 out of 3. So expect Jaden Cox to make the world team here at 92 kg. And then at 125 kgs, finally we got Gwiz versus Wood in the semis, and then Hayden Zillmer, who beat Don Bradley in the quarters to advance to the semis, up against Mason Paris of Michigan. Good wrestlers in this, but no Gable Steveson. Although he did win gold in this weight class, he rejected the bid to wrestle at 125 for world teams, and instead is not going to be competing at the world team trials. So instead we got Gwiz, who is the number 1 seed here. Should probably beat Wood in the semifinals to advance to the finals. And then Hayden Zillmer and Mason Paris. Zillmer with a good win in the quarterfinals, but Mason Paris should probably be able to beat him in the semis. And then between Gwiz and Paris, I believe Gwiz has won the most recent match, and I think it will probably go that way again. Gwiz is definitely the best heavyweight other than Mason Paris in the US right now. But yeah, that's going to be our video talking about the World Team Trials predictions, as well as the results from the previous rounds. Expect a full results video coming out tomorrow after the World Team Finals are over. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and sub for more wrestling content like this. We'll definitely be posting a lot more now that the NCAA wrestling season is going to be starting soon, so stay tuned for that.